Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be?
Well, it's that time. Season 3 of the Throttle Freaks GT3 action. This season, we're heading to Red Bull Ring to kick this one off. Our driver's just finishing up qualifying, so welcome in. This is the first season of Throttle Freaks on Racer Nexus, your new home of Throttle Freaks GT3 action. Red Bull Ring nestled in the steering hills of Spielberg, Australia. We got a fun one in store here this evening, Rich. My name is Rob Campbell. In the booth with me as well, Richard Swindell is back for another season here. Having a look at some nice GT3 racing. Rich, I know Red Bull Ring, a track you're very familiar with.
I sure am, Rob. It's great to be back, and is great to join Racer Nexus. Congratulations on the new production company, Rob. We've done production together, or we've done broadcast for a while now, but nice to see you put your own banner on things. But yeah, I'm very familiar with Red Bull Ring. I've done a lot of racing here in GT cars, but mostly in Formula cars. So really looking forward to tonight with these elevation changes, wide open, lots of flow, too wide. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun track, definitely in a open wheel car. It can be a little more hectic in GT machinery with the off tracks really coming into play. Really easy to rack them up real quick, Rich, and we're going to have to see a number of drivers here having to kind of gingerly tiptoe around the track, not to get into that off-track limit. But we've got a sponsor on board for the season. We've got Apex Sim Racing sponsoring the channel. You can actually find yourself a nice little 5% discount in the description of the video below, as well as using the referral link and that discount code. Again, get you 5% off. They carry all your major sim racing brands: OMP, SimMagic, SimCube, Boza. They have their own line of Apex sim racing accessories too as well, button boxes and so forth. They carry rigs, basically anything you need to get into sim racing, they can help you out. And then we've got our track cams being provided by Track Cams 4 Gourmet, also Track Cams 22. You can find a link for them too as well in the description. So Get some nice modern F1 shots from them. But qualifying over, Rich, let's take a look at how things are going to stack up here. Why don't you take us away?
Yeah, qualifying on pole, new person to the league is Max Attili. In second, Jim Feliz. Third place, we have Clay Morris. Fourth, we've got Joshua Spears. Then we have David Bush the third, followed by Javi Sierra. In seventh, we have Matthew Fortin, followed in eighth. Whoa, we got a little bit mixing up going on. Oh, that looks a little more like my results. So sorry about that. There's Max Attili in first, and then Brett Thurman second, Jim Feliz third, Clay Morris is in fourth. Then we have Tyler Cato in fifth, followed by Tyler Graff in sixth. Seventh is Jerome Berthiaume. Then we have Felix Feliz, Joshua Spears, Andrew Trickett, Sean Provo, and Seb Gauthier. Yeah, we've got Kevin Bergquist, followed by Greg Doucette, a name we haven't seen for a while. Matthew Fortin in 27th, followed by Stephen McLean in 28th. Travis Newsom, Dale Peterson round out the top 30. Then we have Sully Saad in 31st, David Morse 32nd, Jason Park 33rd, Chip Michaels 34th, Ian Cabana 35th, and Nicholas Carangis 36th. Whoa. Yeah. Oh no. Well, it's going to be interesting, Rob. I noticed we've got a full pace lap here. I don't know if Red Bull Ring has a short pace lap, but we're certainly going to get to see these cars try and warm up their tires and get these temps going so they can maybe have a nice clean start going into turn one. Or Nordschleife.
Sorry, I just realized I had myself muted there, Rich. So got that fixed up, unmuted. So whoever wasn't listening to my beautiful commentary, I feel sorry for you. I had to listen to just Rich, but got myself unmuted. But what I was saying is, you mentioned a short pace lap, but thankfully, as I said, it's not Road America where it's a 5-minute pace lap, or you said like Nordschleife, that'd be like 15 minutes. I wonder if they've ever done a full pace lap at Nordschleife. That would have to be painfully long.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't take it. But we're getting ready to go, Rob. We just got a couple of more corners here, and then we're going to watch Max Attili take pole here and lead this field away.
Yeah, that's Max Tillineuve. Max Attili leading the way to stop. Oh, it looks like we had a car spin off already. That was Tillineuve, our leader, out of the final corner. He's going to lose it. That is not the way you want to start race one of the season. He's going to fall all the way back to the tail end of the field, Rich. So that's going to let Jim Feliz and Brett Thurman get up top of the standings early on. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened to the Tilly here in a few moments once things kind of settle out front and everybody gets a little more comfortable.
Yeah, that was not the start of the season he was hoping for, not after pole position. We'll take a look later. But meanwhile, Brett Thurman has got himself sitting in second there, looking in behind Jim Feliz. Car's teammates going 1-2 right now. Then we've got Clay Morris sitting in third, Tyler Graff fourth, Felix Feliz in fifth. Looks like other than Max, it looks like most of the other drivers got through turns 1 and 2 pretty cleanly.
Yeah, it looks like for the most part, I'm showing a couple incidents from a few other drivers at the back. But as you said, most of the cars got through. 43 cars on grid here. So for only having one or two cars have an incident there early on, Rich, I got to say that's a success.
Yeah, definitely. Turn 1 can be quite dangerous and treacherous. Unfortunately, it looks like most of the incidents happened before we even got to turn 1 as we pick it up with Jerome. Oh man, I can't pronounce his last name today. Rob, help me out here. I'm having issues.
Jerome Berthiaume.
Thank you. Jerome, we haven't seen him in the league, I don't believe. If we have, it was quite a while ago, but certainly no stranger to racing in GT cars. Nice to see Jerome joining us here today.
Yeah, Jerome, basically the head chief over at PRL before it tied up things for a little bit back. He's come over here to join us to do some racing here now. It's been a while since he's been able to get behind the wheel, but Jerome nicely situated there in 7th place right now. Got Tyler Cato up ahead of him, Andrew Trickett just behind, trying to put some pressure on Jerome.
Yeah, I'm so embarrassed not knowing his name. I mean, he's announced my name for awards before. So, Jerome, welcome. We're picking it up. We got Andrew Trickett. Andrew in the B&O Cardomania car. Andrew, no stranger to Throttle Freaks Racing, coming up into turn 3. Big uphill, long, nice braking zone, tight corner, getting up on the curbs and falling in behind. We got ourselves a little bit of a draft fest going on right now with these 3 cars.
Yeah, they're separated a little bit from Cato and Feliz up ahead, as we see Feliz diving up the inside of Tyler Cato. That's going to give him +3 positions on the race so far, up into 5th place. We've seen Felix Feliz over the last couple seasons, Rich, show some pace, but unfortunately he seems to be one of those drivers either really fast or kind of gets involved in an incident here or there and has a race really not to remember. So starting the season off here, we'll see what kind of season is underway here for Felix Feliz, but he's got Tyler Graff just ahead of him. Tyler Graff back again this season, took a little bit of time off last season, had to deal with some real life stuff, you know, like stuff gets in the way every now and again, but good to see him back this season. Currently got himself up into 4th place, but story, Jim Feliz taking that top spot away from Max Titilli when he spun it in the final corner. There's no looking back right now.
Yeah, and it's also nice to see Brett Thurman, formerly known as Bad Santa, sitting in 2nd place. Brett didn't have his best season last season, but it looks like he's got the pace tonight and back up where we're used to seeing him.
Hey, he's got I noticed he's got the Bad Santa moniker on the rear bumper for you again, Rich, so you didn't forget about it. So.
We'd have to stop announcing him. Nice to see that back, Brett. It's certainly one of my favorites.
Well, we got a moment here. Looks like things settled down a little bit. Let's see what happened to Max Titilli in the final corner there. So he tried to get a jump and just unfortunately caught the inside curb, those cold tires, and around he went, able to keep it off the wall, but cost him a ton of positions. He's got himself down to 30th place. So all in all, not too bad. I thought he was going to have to wait till the very end of the pack, but able to cycle in about 10 cars away from the back of the pack.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's sad for Max, but very good to see that it wasn't caused by another racer and everybody getting through relatively cleanly. We're going to go back into the mid-pack here. We got Dave Jensen having himself a battle right now. Dave Jensen, and it looks like Josh Goen in ahead of him. Goen brothers, no stranger to Throttle Freaks. Nice to see Josh back with us again. And Dave Jensen having himself a good little battle driving the Merc. Coming up the inside as we're coming down into turn 9. This is a nice sweeping corner, Rob. And then you're coming out way out using all of that curb and then tucking it right up and back in using all the curb again, going down the front straight.
Yeah, I did a few laps here. Oh, when was it? I want to say during week 13, I think it was, just to test out. I think they had the GT3s here one of the days for the testing in week 3. Oh, no, it's like Jacob Fichter going to lose it into turn 1. So you have to wait for
a
have had a little bit of help
there,
go around.
yeah.
But yeah. Oh, we've got, looks like one of the SRT cars off on the inside there. Ian Cabana goes by. I think that might be Christopher Rhines that was off on the inside too as well. But as I was saying, I tried some laps here just to test out the Aston during week 13, and I noticed that that final corner, it seems to be now if you even touch that yellow curb on the inside, you get an off track for it. So I'm not sure if that's going to come into play here this evening, Rich. And I know normally it's a corner where you really try to cut that as much as you can. It used to be as long as you had a tire on that turtle curb, you're okay. But if you went over it onto the inside, you got flagged for an off track, where it seems like they've adjusted it there for this season and made it really tight.
Well, I mean, the drivers would have been caught off that. Whoa, another incident. It looks like Josh Goen got together. It was that David Bush III looking on the colors there. Yes, that's David Bush III who was off in the gravel. So we got a few spins, a little bumping and grinding going on. Let's see what happened here if we can pick that up.
Yeah, on board here with Josh Goen. Looks like David Bush III. I'm not sure if he had any help up ahead, but slid off track there. Goen was able to get around him. See, it might have been Herbert Pineda just up ahead. Let's see what happened to him. He's flagged too as well. So there's David Bush III, the black and purple Lambo up ahead. Stay with this here for a minute to see if we can see what happened. Pineda in behind.
I think it was a couple corners after this, Rob, when it happened.
Yeah, it looks like Pineda got through there okay. He was flagged for an off track there, so I'm not sure if maybe he dropped a couple tires too far on the outside of that curb through turn 3, but the incident with Bush should be coming up here as they head into turn 5 here very shortly. So we'll see if we can have a look and see what happened here with David Bush III. Oh, it's just solo spin there.
Yeah, and almost kind of similar to what happened to Max Tilly earlier in this race. Just all on his own, uncharacteristic of David Bush III, but he's back underway. Just a lot of positions lost.
Both of them in the Lambo too as well. So I wonder if that may be a Lambo issue this season. Both of them just kind of losing the back end. But looking back here from Dave Jensen, see Pete Mejia. Pete had a nice season last season. No doubt he'll be trying to work off that season, trying to push forward here, but unable to try and put any more pressure on Dave Jensen right now. It's a battle in our AM class for second and third. Which actually take and mention that the colors on the left-hand side denote which class our drivers are in. Blue is the pro class, red is going to be your pro-am drivers, and green is going to be our am drivers. Points are doled out in your overall finishing position, not based off where you finish in class, so every position matters regardless of which class you were in.
Well, I appreciate you telling the audience that, Robin. It's always a good refresher for me after a few weeks off. My brain's not quite as young and, good as it used to be. Just like to make mention here, Travis Newsom. Nice to see Travis joining us in a Ferrari. Travis, our biggest mover and shaker right now. Travis sitting up at 12 positions on the day, having himself a very, very good start to this race. Nice job, Travis.
Yeah, Travis, one of our new drivers, as you mentioned. So the I-75 Motorsports driver, nice run just in behind Josh Goen and Colin McKenzie. So no doubt he has a little bit of battle there. Those two drivers is on the bottom of the screen. We focus on our leader, Jim Flees and Brett Thurman. They've got a comfortable gap now, Rich, of about 3.5 seconds, looks like, over Tyler Graff in third place. So those two SRTE drivers up front, sitting pretty comfortably up front. We'll see if they're able to try and work their way. Sorry, we'll see if Tyler Graff, leading the second pack, able to work his way up there. He's got Shannon Morris and Tyler Cato in tow.
Yeah, and we know Tyler's going to want to get himself on the podium because he's always got something to promo. So Tyler, let's put that pedal down and see what you got tonight. Nice to have you back.
Yeah, good to see him back. We'll take a look at the main screen. We'll take a little farther back. Look at one of our new drivers too as well, Matthew Forte in the Aston. And I gotta say, Rich, the Aston probably one of the best sounding cars now in iRacing. Just the shift sound, the pops and the gurgles out of that thing. I think it's probably the best sounding car. I don't know if you bought it or if you've driven it, but I think it's my favorite car to drive in GT3. Doesn't seem to be the fastest though in a straight line, a little down on overall pace, but man, is it fun to drive and listen to.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've been a little busy. I got a lot of stuff going on in the personal life right now, Rob, so I haven't done any GT3 racing since the update. Certainly don't have the Aston, although, you know, if we won the lottery, my wife's favorite car that she's always wanted has been an Aston Martin. So taking a look at Jack Hedgecox. Jack Hedgecox, you know, for a guy who started, I think he's 31st here tonight. Actually, he started worse than that. He's up 15 positions. Now he's the biggest mover and shaker. No surprise. It looks like Jack's getting a handle on this track and this car and moving on up.
Yeah, throw up the position changes there. Looks like Jack Hedgecox, as you mentioned, our biggest mover, 15 spots gained. So nice race for him. Started at the tail end. So we made note. We don't normally see him starting that far back. I wonder if maybe it was just a little, it didn't quite have the practice time in decided to start at the back and try and work his way up from there, Rich.
Well, maybe he's just looking ahead for a challenge based on how well he did last season. But Jack, welcome back. We're glad you're here. Even if you can't make every race, always a pleasure having you out on the track here. And in behind Jack, though, we've got a nice little battle going on, Rob. Sully Sad, Jason Park. Good battles all up and down the field. That's one thing, I guess, like you said, with Red Bull Ring and the GT3 cars, passing is not quite as easy as one would expect or hope, and you get yourself into a little bit of a draft fest. So you can see we've got, what, 12, 15 cars in this one train here alone.
Yeah, I'm having a look at my track map I have on screen right now just for my own viewing. And first and second place heading into turn 7, which if you're familiar with Red Bull Ring is where the bowl is located. And then a little bit of a gap to third, but essentially from third place all the way back to 36th. They're wrapped around all the way back to just exiting turn 3, just to give you an idea of the extent of the tracks, or the cars spread out on the track here, Rich. There's not really any more than maybe 2 or 3 seconds separating any kind of pack of cars. So we still have a ton of cars bunched up here as we go on board with Sean Provo. He's got Jay Steffian behind him. Jay, a driver we've seen out through all 3 seasons, really competitive. He's found a ton of pace the last couple of seasons. In qualifying, or sorry, in practice, he was right up near the sharp edge of practice, up in the top 5. So I'm not surprised to see him here putting a ton of pressure on Sean Provo. Both those drivers up 3 and 4 spots respectively from where they qualified. So having a great race, the two of them.
Oh, definitely is. It looks like, unfortunately, Jared Keane had himself a little bit of an incident, doing a little bit of a spin and a little touch of the wall going through, I think, turn 7 or 8. So looks like we've got some early pit stops, 12 minutes in. Pit stops are pretty much mandatory. You got to get fuel. These drivers won't be taking tires. Jack Edgecoats now finding himself in a little bit of traffic, going in for an early pit stop, trying to get some clean air so he can advance even further. Let's see how he does, but we're going back on board. We've got Jim Feliz sitting in first place now. Jim Feliz got himself a pretty nice, nice big gap actually, and Tyler Graff now sitting in second, leading his train along. So Jim Feliz 5 seconds ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Brett Thurman has fallen all the way back to 21st place. I thought maybe he came in for a pit stop, so I didn't see that. So I'm just having a look through timing and scoring here to see what happened to him, because he was in second place, Rich. So we'll see if we can find what happened to him. Looks like he had a bit of an off track. Maybe it was same time as, looks like, Jared Keane. So see what happened to Brett Thurman as he had an incident out of second place in the Mercedes. Oh, he just lost it coming through. I believe that's turn 7 and 8. The back end of that Mercedes just snapped around him. I'm not sure if there was debris on the track that helped there, Rich, or if it's just a little bit of oversteering.
If you stick with it for a minute, I think Jared Keene's going to slide right into the picture right about now. Because I watched that replay of Jared Keene coming in. There was a car sitting there, and I didn't realize it was Brett Thurman, unfortunately. Unfortunately for Brett, that's not what he was hoping for after that great start. But Brett back underway with no damage, it looks like.
Yeah, let's see what happened to Jared Keene. Almost carbon copy what happened to Brett Thurman, both of them in Mercedes. So interesting there. The Mercedes we saw being so dominant last season at the hands of J.R. Williams. Looks like a little bit of a struggle bus car here this season with Thurman and Keene having issues. The Lambos also, the 2 Lambos we had issues with too as well. So I wonder, it'd be interesting to see if that's a little bit of a storyline for the rest of the season.
Well, I would hope not, but you know, last season we saw a lot of people making the switch to the Mustang, which we see Clay Morris, and I'm going to call him Clay even though it says Shannon because I raced with Clay in another league for a number of years, and everybody there calls him Clay. So hey, Clay, welcome to Throttle Freaks. Clay Morris. A lot of people here aren't familiar with him, but I would expect to see him battling up front most of the season based on the pace I've seen him, and he's all over the back of Tyler Graff right now. Tyler's going to have to get real defensive. Clay is dominating another league I'm in right now. He won the first 9 races of the season in that league, Rob, in a Formula car.
There, I just adjusted it for you, Rich. Clay Morris now. So we've got him by his proper, I guess we'll call it, I don't know if it's...
Common name, we'll call it.
Common, we'll call it his government name. He's putting some pressure on Tyler Graff. Tyler Graff always driving a very, very, I guess, a brightly colored car. And again, this season, Always has that little bit of I don't know what you want to call it, graphic novel-esque kind of steampunk graphic novel-esque paint job. Always sharp, always hard to miss on track, but nice race by him right now. Got himself up into second place, taking advantage of that mistake by Brett Thurman, but feeling a ton of pressure from Morris, Cato, and Felix Feliz in behind.
Yeah, he's always had himself a good thing. And while all that was going on, it looks like Seb Goche and Roy Brown got together going into turn one. Rob, I don't know if you can pick that up, if that's something on your radar, but unfortunately, it looks like those two drivers just not having the best of luck going into corner one as we watch Seb Goche coming up in behind, trying to dive down the inside, going in for the late break. They both turn left and is synchronized as spins, so to speak.
Yeah, it looked like a very optimistic overtake attempt by Seb Goche. Really had to get late in the brakes there. Unfortunately, it cost him and Roy Brown a ton of positions, but looks like for the most part, neither car are really damaged. They should be able to get back on track and try and get themselves embroiled in another battle. But speaking of battles, Kevin Bergquist, driver we've raced with for years and years, Rich, having himself a nice racer, up 9 spots, currently into 16th place. He's got Greg Doucette, another driver you mentioned early on, we haven't seen in a while. He's back. He's got Kevin Bergquist, Matthew Forte, David Bush III, Dale Peterson, and I believe Colin McKenzie rounding out this pack.
Yeah, it's nice to see some familiar names and faces that we haven't seen for a while. Raced together with a bunch of these guys several years ago when we first started in PRL, and nice to see them make the changeover and come over and join us here at Throttle Freaks. Although this time Rob and I are in the booth. I'm just too old to compete against most of these guys, and Rob, he's just got that. He's got that fame bug. He's looking to go viral and become famous on the internet. So he's going to do much better at that in the booth than he is in the driver's seat. Just kidding you. Anyhow, Colin McKenzie sitting in 20th place right now. Colin down 3 positions on the day, but battling hard. Colin doing some great work for us here at Racer Nexus and Throttle Freaks as well in helping promote this league.
Yeah, Colin down a couple spots from where he qualified. I know he's been waiting for the Aston to come out for, I'm going to say years. He's been wanting it to come out. He was going to drive it no matter what, no matter how quick or slow it was. So he's in the car trying to push it forward, but he's at the tail end of that pack. Looks like a Greg Doucette going to do everything he can to hold off the rest of this pack in behind him. But we got a race still going on here for second place as Tyler Cato now has gotten himself up into third, as I believe Clay Morris has fallen back a little bit, down 5 spots into 9th. Let's see if we can find what happened to him, if it was just he got overtaken, or if he had a little bit of an incident. Looks like he might have had a off track here. We'll see if we can find out exactly what happened there. Oh, looks like he had a little help. Yeah, little help from, I believe that was Cato in behind. Sent him off track, but thankfully that gravel trap doing what it was meant to do. He's getting himself back on track, but he's going to have Sean Provo and Jay Steffi just up ahead of him now.
Yeah, got a little bit of the chrome horn without the chrome, but Tyler Graff doing a tremendous job of defense, so nobody's been able to get by him, and he's kind of been a cork in the bottle here because Jim Feliz out to a 7.3 second lead. Tyler Graff making his return and making a great return at that. The MadWorks Got Milk car doing a great job.
Yeah, well done by him. Pete Mejia, though, I'm going to refrain from the other name we used to call him all the time, but Pete Mejia battling it out with Josh Goen. He's got Travis Newsom in behind him, this 3-car pack heading to the line. Looks like Newsom thinking about making a move up the inside. So he was able to pull it off. Oh, Pete Mejia going to bail out and just going to give that to him. He might have saw what happened between those 2 cars earlier, Rich, Roy Brown and Seb Goche, and thought, yeah, I want none of that. I want to see the end of the race. But Newsom going to go defensive into turn 3. Mejia going to have to go the long way around if he wants to take that spot back. Looks like Travis Newsom going to be able to defend in that sharp-looking I-75 Motorsports paint thing.
Yeah, that was. I think Pete was driving a little bit of my style. It's like, let's go for a little bit of preservation here and maybe lose that 1 spot right now, but stick around to battle around maybe next lap or a couple of corners down.
Yeah, live to fight another day, I believe, is what you were looking for there, Rich.
Yeah,
We
that's
gotta-
that's a short version.
Hop on board here with Ian Cabana. He's trying to move around Javi Sierra up ahead. Sierra he's got his wipers going. However, he's got a little bit of tire debris up on the windshield. I don't see any rain in sight out there, but clearing the windshield. Ian Cabana unable to make the way around the outside. So we'll see if Cabana can line him up and try and make another move. He's up 10 spots on the day, so nice race shaping up so far for Ian Cabana. We'll see if he can keep trying to make his way forward.
Yeah, Ian Cabana having himself a good race, as is James Hand, a couple spots up ahead of them. James Hand up 16 positions. Him and Travis Newsom, the two biggest movers and shakers thus far as I can see.
Yeah, it was Jack Hedgecox until he came in for his pit cycle. Actually, I believe, just take a look here. I think he is the highest ranked driver who's pit. No, sorry, Max Tilly, our highest ranked driver. Max Tilly, our highest ranked driver who's come in for pit cycle. Let's see, he came in on lap 4. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough fuel load for Villeneuve to get himself to the end of the race. Hedgecox came in on lap 8. I think that should be sufficient to get him to the end. So we'll have to keep an eye on whether Max Tilly can make it to the end. Currently sitting in 31st place, but not too far back of Justin Welsh. And again, on a recovery run for him. Unfortunate spin out of the last corner, sitting on pole to start the race.
Yeah, it's been a little difficult start for a couple of the drivers. We watch them go, whoa, a couple wide, typing up the inside. Oh, this is great racing here. Drivers all being respectful. Max Tilly charging hard, looking to gain some of those positions he lost at the very start of this race. And so far doing a good job of making up some time. Let's hope he's got enough fuel in the tank to get to the end without needing another pit stop. Oh, as he spins the car ahead of him. Looks like Luke Davis got a little, well, I don't know whether he turned in on him or Max got into the back of him, but unfortunately Luke took the brunt of that.
Yeah, Davis a lap down car. Again, I'm not sure. It looked like maybe Villeneuve stuck the nose in the inside there, but Davis was a lap down car, so maybe Villeneuve didn't want to wait too long to make that move around. But we got a couple more cars in for pit cycle. Pete Mejia and it's like Sully Sad into Tyler Cato into as well. Cato heading back out on track, so a little more of our field starting to cycle in through pit stops, Rich. So it'll be interesting now as we start to get those drivers mixing back in with the pack, seeing where they kind of cycle through. As there's really, looking at my track map now here, when I mentioned that about half the track was occupied with cars last time we had a look at it, but right now I'd say about 3/4 of the track occupied with cars. So you can't really find a clean space to get back on track to really put in some hot laps. And now we're seeing a ton of debris getting thrown up on track, which is going to be another obstacle for our drivers to have to deal with.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also lap traffic now with people being out of sequence on their pit stops. You know, time on pit lane is about 45 seconds on average. It looks like, you know, the 42 to 45 second. It's only a minute and 30 seconds around the track here, so definitely got some lap traffic getting involved. So it's going to make things a little interesting as the race continues here.
Yeah, we go back to Kevin Berquist battling it out with Dale Peterson in behind him. Peterson was trying to make the move on the inside. Burke was able to fight him off, and Matthew Forte up ahead. So David Bush III was able to get by too as well. So we'll see if Burke was able to hold off the charge from Peterson. Looks like Peterson thought about showing the nose into turn 1 again. He's going to think about showing the nose, trying to force a mistake from Berquist. Berquist not biting though. He's going to just kind of follow on his line, stay there, but hopping the curbs in through turn 1. That's going to compromise his exit here, Rich. I think we might see a move by Peterson into turn 3 here.
Well, this is one of the good overtaking spots on the track. It's a matter of, do you take the outside line or the inside line? Looks like he's going to try and go around the outside, and it looks like Dale Peterson is going to go side by side, going down the back straightaway between turns 3 and 4. Neither of these drivers willing to give an inch, really. Kevin Berquist on the inside, Dale Peterson on the outside. One of them is going to have to flinch first here as they come into the tight braking zone. The outside is usually the preferred place to be on this corner because it sets you up for the inside on the following big horseshoe around the Red Bull. And yes, Dale Peterson getting that move done on Kevin Berquist.
Yeah, what a battle though. Berquist did everything he can trying to defend that move. Couldn't really fault him much for that. He had to be wary of McKenzie lurking in behind if they were going to battle a little more. McKenzie would be able to stick his nose up in the inside there. So Berquist cut his losses, tucked in behind Peterson, and we'll see if he's able to regroup and mount a charge as Tyler Graff is in for his pit cycle. Clay Morris into as well. Looks like Josh Go and Travis Newsom all coming in. So getting more and more of our top runners in for their little bit of splash of fuel here, Rich.
Yeah, it's we're gonna see where everybody cycles out very shortly. I see we're at 45 minutes, Rob. Were we at 45 minutes last season in this league?
That's a good question. I believe we did run 45 minutes. Or no, sorry, it was 40
Must have been
minutes.
season
They've
one was
added,
40.
yeah, no, 40 minutes last season. We've added another 5 minutes and pushed the session back, start back time a little bit. So 5 minutes longer. So our drivers have that much more fuel to take on load. Actually, I believe I heard some chatter in the pre-race session where there was a little bit of an issue with the fuel where they can take a little more fuel than necessary just because of the way the fuel load was set up, the fuel restrictions were set up in the session. So it's just going to see, hopefully it shouldn't compromise much, but it should be something they have fixed for next race. Speaking of next race, as we came in just as qualifying was ending there, we didn't get a chance to really take a look at the schedule. So let's take a minute here and have a quick look at the schedule as we're starting off here at Red Bull Ring. Next week, we're going to head to Le Mans. It'll be new track, Mexico City for round 3, Barcelona, Indy Road, Hockenheim, Sebring for round 7, Interlagos, Suzuka, and we're going to wrap everything up on the mountain in Bathurst.
That's a way to finish on it. You can't drop I believe it, you can't drop week 10 if I'm not mistaken. And wow, that's always an interesting track to finish off a season.
Yeah, it's going to be, especially if we end up with 40 plus cars running up and down the mountain, it'll be real interesting. But Jerry Keane, ton of damage on the front of that car. I didn't think he hit the wall that hard, Rich, when we saw him go in after Brett Thurman had his incident, but the front of that car really hurting. As Max Tillynove's gotten around him, Travis Newsom tucked in too as well. There's a couple drivers who've come in for their pit cycle already. And speaking of drivers that have come in for their pit stop, looks like Tyler Cato was able to get around Tyler Graff through the pit cycle, so he's moved himself up ahead into top spot out of our drivers who have pit, which should essentially put him back into second place as long as all the pit stop cycle times even out as it goes. That'll drop Tyler Graff into third. Clay Morris has worked his way back up through the pit cycle, so we saw him have that incident with Cato not too long ago, about 5 minutes ago, where he got shoved off in, I believe that was turn 4 and 5. He's got himself back up in behind Tyler Graff, only 2.3 seconds. So he's shown some pace, Rich. I suspect he'll be able to try and reel those two Tylers back in. We could have a battle here for second spot in the overall position here shortly.
Yeah, based on my knowledge of racing with Clay for a few seasons, he's going to be battling up there with those guys, and I would expect to see him close up on the back of the two Tylers. So we've got a little bit of an onboard shot there, watching the car going around through the center section. Looks like we're coming in through turn 7, now going into 8. Following up, we've got the last two corners, 9 and 10. Just a great, I just love this track, Rob. Lots of elevation change, flowing corners. Like you said, it's more of a formula track, but these GT3 drivers are giving it a go tonight.
Yeah, it can be fun in GT machinery. It's just the off tracks are so tight in a GT car. They're just so heavy, so wide, and the off track's really tight. It makes it difficult, especially in a league race where generally the incident limits before you get a drive through are very low. And it really makes it challenging as you see Clay Morris moving around. Andrew Trickett and Jay Steffi are coming out to finish up their pit cycle too as well. So we had saw when Morris had his incident that Steffi and I believe it was Provo were both able to get around him. So through that cycle, Morris has been able to get ahead of them as well as Trickett and Goen. So nice short little pace stop or pit stop for Clay Morris, working out to his advantage right now. We'll see if he'll keep pushing forward. But right now, David Bush III, a driver we've mentioned in the past, very keen on saving fuel. He really likes to push that fuel limit as far as he can. He's now our last driver to come in for pit cycle service. He's been able to save a lap extra of fuel than everybody else. So we'll see how that works out for him, Rich, once he comes in for his stop.
Yeah, I think David Bush, like we said, we've seen him do this before. And with that earlier incident, he needs every advantage he can in order to get up near the front with these other guys. So David Bush III, using every drop of fuel in that tank, now entering pit road, coming down here. Got to hit the limiter at the right time. Looks like Dave Bush gets it slowed down in time, and he's in for his pit stop, and the last driver to come in for his pit stop.
Yeah, and there goes Jim Flees. He'll take back his rightful position up top of the field. and that's going to put him a comfortable 10 seconds ahead of Joshua Spears. Josh Spears, we should take a mention, up 7 spots in the day right now. He had a brilliant pit stop time of 43.23 cone to cone with 13.23 seconds stopped in his stall. He's got himself up into second place. So nice run by Joshua. We'll see if he's able to hold off Tyler Cato and Tyler Graff in behind us. Now we got a 3-car battle for second place. Clay Morris not too far back. He looks like he's bringing Trickett and Steffi along for the ride too as well. So with the time winding down here, Rich, about 13, almost 13 and a half minutes to go. Still plenty of time for these drivers to battle it out for the podium positions.
Yeah, it's lots of racing left to go. 13 minutes. So what we got? I don't know, 8-9 laps left to go still, Rob. So lots of racing. Joshua Spears is sitting in second place now. Joshua, no stranger to being up near the front, followed by the 2 Tylers. A great race going on thus far, but Jim Felice continuing to hold off everybody and having himself a huge lead at this stage. Second beats third and third beats fourth, as they say. Yeah, Tyler Cato, Tyler Graff, they're really battling hard well, there's only one podium spot there. There's it looks like Jim Felice, it's his to lose, but Joshua Spears, Tyler Graff, Tyler Cato, there's only room for 2 of them on the podium. Let's see which 2 of these drivers can shake it out. Did. Yeah, Max going from first place down to the mid-30s, I think, and now he's back up to 10th. A phenomenal drive after that first corner incident. But David Bush III also having himself a decent drive, sitting in 13th place in that Lambo, doing a nice recovery run after that little spin earlier. David Bush coming around. He's having himself Jack Hedgecoats right behind him. Jack applying a lot of pressure as they're going up into turn 1. Looking him on the little secondary screen, Jack Hedgecoats up 24 positions, folks. He is flying tonight. Yeah, turn 3 is interesting. I mean, you got this uphill, so the braking, you've got gravity working for you, and the force is going. He's going up the inside, takes it out wide, but no, he's held off for now. The move is not to be made right here. They're going to go down the long back straight between 3 and 4 and try it once again, I think. Yeah, that's rather unfortunate. I've raced with Nick before, and we welcome him here, but that's not what he was hoping for. But Jay Steffi, the Riot Motorsports car. Jay, the best bearded man in Throttle Freaks. Nice to see Jay back. Uh, 7th place overall right now. Jay's up 6 positions on the day. Always a great interview in the booth. Let's see if he can get on the podium so he gets himself a little screen time. But right in behind Jay, Josh Goen, one of the Goen brothers, battling quite hard, being quite aggressive, sticking that nose in, letting him know he's there. These guys are fighting for everything with Andrew Trickett just ahead of them. Yeah, I think the move here is you got to keep pushing forward. You can't afford to wait now. There's not enough time to go back and hope you can get in a draft train and have the other guys push you. Clay Morris has got some pace. He's closing the gap a little bit, but he's going to have to keep moving up forward and on a little bit quicker basis if he wants to make any inroads before the end of this race. Joshua Spears, though, going down into turn 4. Joshua Spears doing a great job holding off the two Tylers. Tyler Graff now ahead of Tyler Cato. They seem to be switching positions every now and then, but good racing. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for the last several laps ever since the pit cycle ended. Yeah, we're on lap 26. Predicted to be 30 laps. It's a timed race, 45 minutes, but it looks like it's going to be about a 30-lap race. Max Tilly now up to 9th place. And what a recovery run in the 420 Lambo. Nice job, Max. Nothing to be embarrassed about here, but how you've driven since you crossed that start-finish line. Great job and nice recovery.
Yeah, Jay Steffi looks, I was gonna say, it looks like Josh Goen feeling comfortable in behind Steffi, and then looks like Goen tried to late break Steffi, almost got into the back of him, but thankfully they were able to keep going. But for the back, Dave Jensen and Dale Peterson still battling it out. Jensen able to hold on to that position now, but Dale Peterson trying to take it away. We got Matthew Forte and Greg Doucette not too far up the track, and I keep hitting my mute button to OBS here by accident, Rich, and I think I need to move it because it's causing an issue here.
Well, that's okay. Everybody gets to still hear me, Rob, and that's what they're tuning in for. But Jerome Berthiaume is 31st place. He is having himself a heck of a battle. I mean, we're sitting down here in 31st and 32nd place, Rob, and these guys are nose to tail battling through every corner. 40 minutes into the race. This is fabulous. That's why you want to race in a league like Throttle Freaks. Good close competition all the way up and down the field. Great job, Jerome, battling cleanly and hard against Ian Cabana, who's doing a great job of defense.
Yeah, it's always nice whenever, regardless of what spot you're in the overall standings, you can find somebody to battle with. But Hedgecoke's now thought about making a move up the inside of Pineda. Thought better of it, seemed wiggly on the brakes as Pineda he let Newsom go by. Now he's got Hedgecokes to deal with. David Bush III lurking in behind there. That's a battle for 12th, 13th, and 14th. Again, very close on track. We got the battle up top for second place. They're very close on track. Tyler Graff, Tyler Cato, Clay Morris trying to chase down Josh Spears. Jim Felice still on a bit of a Tuesday night cruise here. Rich, Tuesday night very popular for your local kind of cruise in at the ice cream shop or the burger shop. Cruise in with your muscle
He's
car.
got a Mustang, you know. He's driving
Yeah.
the Mustang. It's not like he's driving a Lambo, you know, so and it kind of fits.
The only thing we're missing is that Mustang trying to take out a crowd standing on the side of the street.
Yeah, it's not a Camaro, Rob, or a Firebird. But hey, good job, Jim. And we're gonna go back here with Javi Sierra. Javi in 27th place, falling along behind Felix Feliz. We got the Merc. We've got the Mustang going up through the infield, through the 7-8 corner section, coming into the 2 90-degree right-handers, the downhill into 9. They're gonna go hard, using all of the curbing, cutting to the inside, swinging way out to the outside. And this is the spot Rob was talking about earlier. You used to be able to cut way up on that curb, but now you get an off track, and driver's not able to take advantage of all that track. And Javi Sierra is going to have to be content to sit where he is for now. Jack Hedgecoats, though, Jack is continuing to move on up. Now he's past Herbert Pineda. Jack up to 12th position. 26 positions gained so far.
Yeah, still working on that nice run. Got himself comfortably in the top 15, but looks like Pineda not just going to settle for losing that position, trying to find a way back on Hedgecoats. But the more they battle, that's going to allow Travis Newsom to get away up ahead as Pineda look into the outside. It's a real tough move to try and make the move around the outside of turn 6 and 7. It's off camber, track kind of falls away from you there, Rich. So unless somebody has an incident, a little bit of a sketchy moment on the inside, it's really tough to make that move around the outside that he tried.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot different than in a Formula car where the downforce is pushing you down. Here, there's not a whole lot of that, but Travis Newsom sitting in 10th position. Travis, welcome to the league. You got yourself a top 10 so far. Sitting there battling with Sean Provo in behind him. We've got Travis in the Ferrari, Sean in the Mustang. Man, I look at the mix of cars we got, Rob. We got Ford, BMW, Porsche, Ferrari, Ford, Merc. We got all kinds of cars here in the top 10. So nice representation, kind of split fairly well.
Yeah, it's nice to see that it's not all one make as we've seen in seasons past. But Travis Newsom, as we had a look at him, up 19 spots. A nice race for him up into the top 10. But I'm taking a look through here, Rich, and much to your dismay, I don't see anybody in a Corvette this season.
Well, you can't have it all, I guess. You know, they brought the Aston Martin in, so at least we got those. You know, if we can't have the Corvette, give me the Aston Martin, because it's something that's been sorely lacking for a while here.
True. Speaking of the Aston Martin, we go on board with Colin McKenzie as he's able to get around Kevin Berquist to get himself into 21st. He's got 20th and 19th place just ahead of him. That's Pete Mejia and Dale Peterson. As they battle it out, Pete Mejia going to go wide. Dale Peterson going to look up into the inside and take that position away. So Pete Mejia going to fall down to 20th place. He's going to lose another spot to Colin McKenzie. So I'm not sure if Pete Mejia having a little bit of an issue here, potentially a slowdown. He's just lost a number of spots through those last few corners, Rich.
Yeah, it's looks like he may have had that slowdown you're talking about, but I believe we may be on the final lap here, and looks like we may have Jim Feliz leading that pack by a good, almost 14 seconds coming down the back straightaway, just on cruise control, basically ever since he took the green flag. So Jim Feliz just a few more corners to navigate to take victory in race 1, season 3 of Throttle Freaks. Great job driving tonight, Jim.
I believe that was incident points for Pete Mejia. Had to serve a black flag, and I'm wondering now.
Ooh.
I'm showing Tyler Graff with a black flag too as well, potentially for incident points. So he's going to have to serve that drive-through penalty, but being on the last lap, I don't think he's going to be able to. So he's going to have to take, I believe it's a 30-second penalty. But as you mentioned, that Jim Feliz heading into the final set of corners here, bit of a clinic here for him. Once he got that top spot via issue by Tillynuv, there was no looking back. And he's going to take this one to the line, Rich, and race 1 of season 3 going to go to Jim Feliz.
Yeah, and like you said, that's definitely a penalty. I heard on the comm somebody saying they've got to serve their penalty. So Joshua Spears is going to go uncontested now, take a second place as Tyler Graff's coming into pit lane. At this stage of the game, I don't think it really makes a difference, but that puts Clay Morris up to third. Nice recovery from him. Tyler Cato coming in fourth. Wow, just a great opening race so far, Rob, for the league. Nice to see pretty much good, clean racing all the way through from what we saw. I'm sure there's a couple of little bumps and incidents, but overall, just a great display.
Yeah, a lot of, there's always going to be a few bumps here and there, but as you mentioned, once things settled down there after the start, which it's always hectic at the start, you got this many cars in a small track like the Red Bull Ring, it's going to happen. But we've got drivers battling right down the line here. James Hand, Seb Gauthier trying to take that position away, but James Hand looks like he's going to hold on to it, racing that Mustang to the finish line. That's for 29th and 30th place. So every position matters. As we mentioned, Roy Brown got involved in an incident earlier with Seb Gauthier. He's going to come back home in 33rd place. And I believe Stephen McLean going to be our final car. Looks like our final car on the lead lap here. Potentially Justin Welch, although I'm showing possibly a lap down for him. But a couple more cars to go, Rich, and then we'll have a round one here wrapped up. But what a way to start it here at the Red Bull Ring. It's going to be drastically different next week when we head to the wide open spaces of Le Mans.
Oh. Well, you know, it's going to be, it was a lot easier, I think, calling this race here at Red Bull Ring than it will be at Le Mans. And that track is so long and such long straights with chicanes. And then you get into the stadium section. That'd definitely be an interesting week. But, man, we had a lot of fun at Red Bull Ring tonight.
Yeah, it's Red Bull Ring, always a great track, but it kind of, we got Stephen McLean just kind of coasting the line here on fumes. Willing that car to the line here. Rich looks like he's not sure if he's going to be able to make it. You hear it spitting and sputtering there. Somebody needs to give him a little bit of a. Somebody needs to give him a little bit of a blow on the rear bumper to get it across the line, inching ever so close. You can see it there. He's gonna make it. There it is.
With the size of that wing on that Lambo, I mean, all he needs is like a mile-an-hour wind, and I think he'll get over there. So, come on, you can do it.
Yeah. Well, he made it across in the end, and that will make everything official. So Jim Feliz, as we mentioned, going to take top spot over Joshua Spears and Clay Morris, our top three pro drivers. Finished 1, 2, 3 in the overall standings. Then our top three Pro-Am drivers, Rich, going to finish 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's Tyler Cato, Andrew Trickett, and Josh Goen. Max Attili's going to recover to 7th place. A heck of a run from him after that spin in the final corner of the start of the race. Jay Steffi, nice run for him in 8th place. Travis Newsom in 9th. Our top AM driver, Sean Provo, in 10th. Jack Hedgecox in 11th. Pineda in 12th. David Bush III in 13th. Thurman and Doucette 14th and 15th. Our second place AM driver, Dave Jensen, in 16th. Dale Peterson in 17th. Bergquist, our third place AM driver, rounding out the podium in 18th. McKenzie in 19th. And Jason Park in 20th.
Yeah, in 21st, we have Sully Sad, followed 22nd by Chip Michaels. 23rd is Matthew Fortin, followed by Tyler Graff. Oh, what a big penalty. Just one too many off tracks, hopping all the way back to 24th. Javi Sierra sitting 25th, then Felix Feliz in 26th. Jacob Figner, 27th. Jerome Berthome in 28th. James Hand, 29th. Seb Gauthier in 30th. Hey, Jim, surprise, welcome and congratulations on winning week 1.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to pick back up in the Mustang where I left off at the end of last season and start with a win. Pretty unusual race, to be honest with you. I think there were a lot of quick people out there in the field, but, a spin from Max right off the bat was really unfortunate for him. Certainly made the start interesting, and I feel for him. He set a great qualifying lap, was setting quick laps, further down in the field, and great comeback drive from him to kind of move back up. But yeah, there's a little bit of chaos at the start, and then was able to kind of check out from there, but wasn't necessarily the race I was expecting looking at some of the times I saw in practice and qualifying.
Yeah, it looked like you just happened to be in the, well, I mean, you set yourself up by being, where you were in qualifying. So once Max had his spin, you just happened to be on the right side of the track. And from then on, you didn't really have to look back. So nice job. Next week's Le Mans, how's that? Is that a track you like, or have you done much practice there?
It's not my favorite track, but I think it's, hopefully going to suit the Mustang. It's definitely a power track. Some of the lower cars, like the McLaren, the Acura, tend to do well in terms of top speed there. But with the fixed setups and a lot of the cars running more downforce, who knows? I think the Mustang will be a strong competitor there, and I'll do my best next week.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Any shout-outs tonight, Jim?
Yeah, just want to say hello to the folks at home. Shout out to my team as well. They set up a great practice session yesterday to get us all prepped, and bummed for Brett, my teammate. He and I were running 1-2 there for a while, and then I think I saw him have a little bit of a spin on lap 8, but I'm sure he's going to bounce back next week, and looking forward to Le Mans.
Awesome. We'll see you next week. Congratulations
Thanks,
once again.
Appreciate it.
That was our overall winner, Jim Feliz. Well done for him. Let's bring in our second place driver, Joshua Spears. Josh, mega pit stop there. You're able to leapfrog a couple drivers, get yourself up into second place, and then you're able to hold off the two Tylers, Cato and Graf, in behind, and bring it home second place. So congrats on the second place finish. How'd the race go from your viewpoint?
Honestly, it was pretty clean. There was a little bit of drama with the other drivers, so I was just hoping to keep it clean and keep it within draft of everybody, but I actually underfueled my pit. I was 2 liters under, so I was letting off the gas all the time.
Oh, it looked like you were sitting fairly comfortable out front, so well done on the fuel saving. And next week we head to Le Mans. That's a track where you can do a ton of fuel saving if you time it properly. How you feel heading into Le Mans with the BMW?
Honestly, I love Le Mans. I'm not sure of the Beamer, but I'm hoping it goes well for me next week. I do appreciate the lifts.
Well done, Josh. We hope to see you up near the sharp end of the field again next week. Anybody you want to shout out here before we let you go?
Honestly, Tilly for the draft at the beginning, and the team, the SimCity Racing for the team, and all their sponsors. So thank you, guys.
Well done, Josh. Best of luck to you next week at Le Mans.
Thanks.
Okay, let's bring in Clay Morris to have a chat with his competitor in the open wheel series, Richard Swindells.
Hey, Clay. Welcome to Throttle Freaks, and congratulations on a podium finish in your first race.
Thank you. I have no idea how I pulled this out, but it worked out.
Yeah, it looked like earlier on you got... somebody got into the back of you, if I'm recalling correctly, but you made a good recovery to bring it back home in third. How does... what do you prefer? GT cars, downforce cars, or do you really care?
I am much more familiar with downforce cars. This is my first GT3 race in probably 2 years, so I'm not used to this at all.
Well, you certainly are used to being up near the front, so next week's the Le Mans. Have you done any GT racing up at that track? I'm guessing not much.
I don't even know where the corners go at Le Mans. I'm gonna have to learn it next week. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you here. We look forward to some more good results from you, and congratulations once again. Anybody you'd like to thank or give a shout out to?
Gotta thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and for Max Tilly. He was the one that invited me to the league, so I wouldn't have been here if he did not say to join.
Awesome. Well, congratulations once again, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you.
So that was our third place finisher in Pro, as well as the overall, Clay Morris. And looks like we got a couple more drivers in here waiting. Let's bring in Tyler Cato, our top Pro-Am driver. Tyler, You were kind of battling it out there for the most part of the race between yourself, Tyler Graff, Clay Morris too as well. Looks like a little bit of an incident there for Tyler Graff. Incident points you had to tuck in. What were you thinking when you saw him pull into the pits for that black flag?
I honestly thought it was from not serving his slowdown. To be honest, they had a couple of the guys that were in front of me. I think it was P2 and P3. They it looked like they went real wide on the last exit, and I was like, no way, they don't have slowdown. So it didn't look like they served me, so I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a tough track for slowdowns and incident points, but next week we head to Le Mans. You're in the Ferrari. Generally, it's a car that really does well at the high-speed track, so you feeling confident heading into Le Mans next week?
No, I have barely any practice there, so it's going to be a tough one for sure.
Well, you got all week to get that practice in, so hopefully we see you find some pace in time to get up towards the sharp end again next week. I believe at one point in time you made up a number of spots up into the top 10, a nice run going. I believe your teammate Travis Newsom had a nice race too as well. I think last count, 19 spots up as well for him. So a couple of good races there for the I-75 Motorsports team. Anybody want to shout out here before we let you go?
Just my teammate, that's it. We put in a lot of practice, and that's it.
Well, excellent stuff. As I said, hopefully we see you both up at the sharp end again next week. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
So that was Tyler Cato. Let's bring in here Andrew Trickett to have a chat with Richard Swindells.
Andrew, congratulations. Great race tonight.
Hey, good. Thank you.
The lot of good close battling there, and a lot of ready cars. You're the top finishing a Merc tonight. How'd that race go for you?
It was not like you said. There was battles throughout the field all night. I mean, it was somebody on my bumper trying to chase somebody. I was just trying to keep it clean and just bring it home to tell you the truth. So I'm not used to being in this position up here, and I think it's second in Pro-Am, but I'm more than happy. I'll take it.
I believe you are correct on the second in Pro-Am, and it's always nice to see somebody like yourself who's been around battling hard for a while, a number of years, and finally getting some accolades tonight. So congratulations. Next week we're going to Le Mans. Have you got much experience there, and what do you think?
We'll see. I know that needs a lot of straight line speed, obviously, down those back straights, so we'll see how the Merc does there. But looking hopefully this season will be better than last one. I struggled last year in the McLaren, so made the change over to the Merc, and hopefully it will be positive.
Awesome. Well, we're hoping for the best luck for you. Any shout outs tonight, Andrew?
Just thank you to you guys putting on a good show, and all the guys, the organizers here, for putting in the hours and giving us a great league to race in, and all the guys we race against. And thank you guys very much.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, and look forward to seeing you next week. Congratulations once again.
Thank you. Good night.
So that was Andrew Trickett, our second place driver in Pro-Am. Now let's bring in Josh Goen. Josh, nice start to this season. Got yourself up in the podium position. Were you expecting that as a late kind of last minute entry into the race this season?
I was hoping to do well, but after poor qualifying, I kind of had resigned myself to just salvaging whatever result I could. Fortunately, opening round jitters for a lot of the field, and a number of kind of folks spinning off ahead of me, so managed to inherit a good bunch, and then had to work for some as well.
So we saw Goen Racing was fairly competitive last season in the teams championship. It's just yourself and looks like Jack this season representing Goen Racing. Nice race for Jack too as well. Got himself up a number of positions. I believe he was their biggest gainer in the race. So how are you guys feeling heading into Le Mans next week with the, I believe you're in the Ferrari and Jack in the new Aston?
Yeah, we also got Chip joining us this year. He was on the sister team last year, but with Nick doing some traveling as the season starts out, he's stepping in to round out our 3-man squad. Yeah, excited for Le Mans. It's a fun track. The straights give you a chance to kind of mentally recalibrate and get prepared to mess up the next chicane, and then you have the curves on the backside of the track. It's a track we've driven a ton. Never in the Ferrari. All of us being in different GT3s will certainly make the season a little bit more challenging, as we'll have less resources to learn from, and kind of have to learn the quirks of our own cars each week. But yeah, good to be back with the boys, and really grateful to got on P3 tonight.
Excellent stuff, Josh. Get yourself in a ton of practice this week, and hopefully we can see you in a podium position again next week at Le Mans.
Thanks, Rob.
Take care. So that was Josh going our final step on the Pro-Am podium. Let's bring in, I'm trying to remember who finished ahead in AM, if it was Dave Jensen or Sean Provo. Off the top of my head, I think it was Sean Provo, if I remember correctly. Let's bring in Sean Provo to have a chat with Richard Swindells.
How you doing?
Hey, Sean, hey, great. Congratulations on the well-fought race tonight. How'd that go from your perspective?
Better than I expected. I'm pretty happy with the result, and I didn't think that I was going to be that competitive, but it's a great start to the season.
It certainly is. I mean, if you're going to have a season-starting race, putting yourself where you did certainly has to feel good. Red Bull Ring this week, Le Mans next week. What do you think about Le Mans, Sean?
One of my favorite tracks. I can't wait.
Well, you look like you might be in the car for driving the Mustang. Seems to have a lot of grunt down the long straightaways.
Yes, sir.
Had a great race today. Looking forward to seeing how you do next week. Obviously, you say you like the track. Anybody you'd like to shout out tonight for your well-fought, I believe you had victory in your class, if I'm not mistaken, if Rob and I have that right. And anybody you'd like to shout out and give thanks to?
Yeah, Jim and Dave and all the SRT boys, Jared Keene, appreciate you guys and couldn't do it without you.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on victory. Look forward to seeing you next week, Sean.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
You too.
So that was Sean Provo, our winner in the AM class. We'll bring in our final interview for the evening. Is our second place driver in AM, also rocking some nice Racer Nexus decals on his car. Forgot to give us his face cam though for the broadcast, but Dave Jensen brought home second in class. Nice race. How did it go from your point of view?
Oh yeah, sorry guys, I already shut that off. It was good. Terrible pit. I don't know what happened, but I think I went in at 10th and came out in 20th. So that was tough, but I wasn't catching Provost anyway. He was flying.
Yeah, I'm having a quick look here at your pit stop, 14.7, where, you mentioned it, a little on the slower end where it looks like the majority of the field, low 14s, high 13s, but you were embroiled in battles all throughout that race. We went back to you a couple times. You always seem to be in the thick of a battle. Red Bull Ring, a tough track, and not a whole lot of corners, not a whole lot of room as far as off tracks. How many incident points did you end up finishing with?
A lot. I got a lot of off tracks, a lot of slowdowns. Yeah, I don't know. Track felt a little hot, but did what I could.
Yeah, well, you were able to stay out of the black flag territory where we saw a couple of drivers having to pop in the last couple of laps to serve those. But Le Mans next week, a track that most drivers are kind of familiar with. They've either raced it in a league official or they've done the 24-hour race. You're in the Mercedes this season. How comfortable are you feeling heading into Le Mans with the Merc?
I've never raced there. Still under a year on the sim, so I haven't had a race there yet.
You're in for a treat then. It's a lot of go fast and not a lot of go slow. So,
well, hopefully I got the right car for it.
Well, congrats on the second place finish, Dave. Best of luck to you next week. Anybody you want to shout out here before we let you go?
Just you guys and my wife for letting me do this.
Well, thanks again to Dave's wife for letting us have him in the race. Best of luck next week, Dave. Hopefully, again, we see you towards the sharp end of the field.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Take care. So that will pretty much wrap it up here for us, Rich. I think all in all, fairly successful race one for season 3 here at Red Bull Ring. Heading to Le Mans next week should be a vastly different outcome.
Yeah, we had a great race. Racer Nexus did a great job with their debut with Throttle Freaks. Rob, congratulations on all your efforts in putting that all together and doing what you do. I'm just here for the pretty face and the commentary, and but Rob's the one who makes all this happen, folks, and does a great job. So congrats to you, and I'm looking forward to Le Mans next week.
Yeah, well, I just got to get the Muppet to move his push to mute button, so I quit hitting that. I think I got somehow mistakenly mapped the hotkey to another button that I keep pushing here, and I'm gonna have to suss that out here later tonight or tomorrow, so I don't do it again. But again, Racers Nexus will be covering all this season. We've got a number of races going on in different leagues all throughout the week. If you're interested in having your race or host a session broadcasted, by all means, drop us a line. If you're interested in joining the league, their Discord is in the description too as well. You can find that. Don't forget there's a 5% discount code for Apex Sim Racing. You can find that in the description too as well. We'll be back next week, same time, same place for Le Mans. We will see you then. Bye for now.
Good night.